All right, we're going to have the tentative budget public hearing for September the 13th. We have the call to order. We have invocation by Mr. Ages is not here, so looks like I'll do it. And then Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Wilson. Let's stand. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight to go through our budget for the city of Ocoee and the citizens. We asked you to guide us and do the things and help us do the things that are right for the people, the citizens of the city. We ask for your guidance as we go through this, as we work on these budgets to make sure that we can do the things in the city that we need and keep our city where they should be. We ask in your heavenly name, amen.
Amen. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Here.
Commissioner Wilson,
here.
Mayor Johnson,
Here.
Commissioner Firstner,
Here.
and Commissioner Hart is absent.
All right. Public hearing, all right. This is a public hearing on the tentative budget and proposed millage rate for the city of Ocoee. The city commission has previously set a proposed millage rate of 4.950 mills, which represents an 8.36% increase in millage over the rollback rate of 4.568 mills. Briefing by you.
Thank you. The preliminary millage rate set by the City Commission and contained in the trim notice is 4.950 mills. The maximum millage rate which may be levied by the city by regular majority vote for the 2023-2024 fiscal year is 6.9091 mills. Such maximum millage rate having been determined pursuant to Section 200.185, subparagraphs 3A, Florida statutes. The establishment of a millage rate between 6.9092 mills and 7.600 mills requires a 2/3 vote, that is a supermajority of the membership of the City Commission, or 4 votes. The establishment of a millage rate between 7.601 mills and 10 mills requires a unanimous vote by the City Commission. Additionally, any millage rate adopted above the preliminary millage rate of 4.950 mills would require notice by first-class mail to each taxpayer. The tentative millage rate adopted at this hearing will become the maximum millage rate which may be adopted by the City Commission at the public hearing on the final millage rate. A unanimous vote or a 2/3 vote may be required to adopt the tentative millage rate as the final millage rate, as the case may be. At the final public hearing, the City Commission may adopt a millage rate which is less than the tentative millage rate.
All right. We'll go back to my little thing here. We have public briefing, I'm sorry, City Finance Director. Oh, there you are up there. Okay, briefing by you.
Good evening, Rebecca Roberts. I am the Finance Director. So as was stated already, our budget is balanced at 4.90 mills, which is no change from 2023. The ad valorem revenue was budgeted at $21,662,855, an increase of $1.7 million over the rollback rate. It's an increase of 2.3 or 12% over the prior year collection rate. The balance will be used to balance the budget. For an example, we have an increase in operating expenditures this year of $2.7 million. This is reflective of the changes in our economy where everything is increasing by 25 to 30%. A 12% growth in taxable value in the city of Ocoee, consistent with 12% growth rate in the previous year, this is reflective of the 2022 assessments. The median sales price of homes in the city was virtually unchanged from the previous year. What this indicates is that the millage rate is growing, not the millage rate, but the millage collection is growing because of development and the increased number of homes in the city. The 2022 general fund balance as of September 30th, 2022, and certified by our auditors, the total fund balance was $41.4 million. The increase, which was significant if you look over the previous year, was primarily due to the receipt of ARPA funds. The assigned and non-spendable fund balance is $19.7 million. This indicates the amount that has already been assigned and allocated by our commission for other purposes, such as capital projects. The unassigned or the spendable portion of our fund balance is 21.8, which represents 44% of our expenditures. The Government Finance Officers Association recommends that we maintain 33% of our expenditures in fund balance. The city of Ocoee generally and historically has maintained a 38% fund balance, which indicates that we have a healthy fund balance and are conservative in our spending. The budget commitments for this year included an emphasis on sidewalks and roadway resurfacing, replacement of key utility infrastructure, and expanded viability and quality of life for our citizens. Debt service is an item that I was questioned about. So this year's debt service schedules, we will pay $372,000 for leases, $614,000 in notes payable, and bonds payable of $3,077,000. The bonds are the 2016, 2017, and 2020. The water sewer improvement bonds, the downtown improvement bond, and the City Hall development bond. Our leases extend to 2025. Our notes will be paid off in 2024, and our bonds extend to 2047. I would note that our debt service coverage, this means our ability to pay our debt, is 4.99. Finance guidelines suggest we should have 2.0. Anything over 2.0 is a great debt service coverage. Again, an indication that we have a healthy financial city. We incorporated changes in this version of the budget book subsequent to the publication and the budget workshop. Our fire budget increased, the expenditures increased by $85,000. This is for the Public Emergency Medical Transport Program. That program, those expenditures are offset by revenues that we collect. We pay to participate in the program, we collect revenues later. Therefore, revenues were also increased by $85,000. So there's a net zero effect of that change to the budget. Miscellaneous adjustments to personnel cost and insurance lines were modified. That's because we don't receive our actuarial reports, our new invoices until later in the year. We received those late. We made the adjustments necessary. This list of adjustments were commission-directed changes resulting from the workshop. We eliminated the Ocoee Youth Council from the commission budget. We increased the commission contingency by $10,000. We moved youth initiatives budget to the city clerk's budget. That doesn't reflect an increase, we just moved it. We added the budget for the 1923 celebration. We added funding for pickleball courts. We added that funding to the impact fee fund, so that does not affect the general fund. And we increased salaries we increased salaries across the board. However, in the general fund, that amounted to $178,000. That was at the direction of the commission at the workshop. Subsequent to the publication of the book, we made 3 changes. Only 2 are here. I'll tell you about the third in a second. We corrected some mathematical errors, resulting in an increase of $59,411 in ad valorem tax revenue. We increased a city manager's budget to cover potential severance benefits, which is in accordance with our PRR. And we increased the general government budget by $20,000 to include the purchase of 4 AEDs throughout the city. Any questions?
It says here to open it to the public, so I want, just time out real quick. I need, Melanie, can you come here just a second, please? You give me two agendas, and they're not together. No, I got it all. This is, she just did. Now you got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm at the
No,
wrong
you're
place.
okay.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure. All right, we'll now call upon the public for comments and questions regarding the tentative budget. All right, no.
Okay. Dorcas Stiller, City of Ocoee residents and Ocoee Youth Coordinator. I just wanted to hear why the budget was cut and how much money that was for the Ocoee Youth Council.
I think that's misstated. Since I made that proposal, I'll clarify that. What we want to do is move the $10,000 to scholarships. That's what our consensus was at the budget workshop. And so, I don't know, did y'all move that to contingency so that we could pay? Because we don't know what the scholarship amounts will be, and we directed staff to create a scholarship program, a formal program
Okay.
for that funding.
Okay. And so you said you just had staff create that, or what I sent?
I've requested of the city manager for staff to create and propose a formal scholarship program for the Ocoee Youth Council to the commission.
Okay. And so what I sent was not, was that reviewed?
I haven't reviewed anything.
I think we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here.
Okay.
If this is what happens, we have 2 public hearings, Dorcas. If this is what happens in the final budget, then it would be time to look at actually coming up with the proposal on how to give the scholarships out. I did see some correspondence from you, and I understand that, but I didn't think we wanted to get into that until we've actually finalized the budget.
Okay, well, when would I have to present? Because the $10,000, or I think it's $9,600, is actually what my consulting fee is. It has nothing to do with running the Ocoee Youth Group or anything like that, and the scholarship. So if you're putting $9,600 towards scholarship, that would be probably 10 times more than what we've ever had for scholarships, which is wonderful for the students. I don't have any complaint about that. I'm just wondering, who's going to run the,
Staff.
so staff is going to run the?
Staff and, well, are you through? Are you through?
Well,
Because it's.
I don't know if you want me to go back and forth or.
No, here's the problem. It's not getting, it's putting 10, and we talked about that, and that we're gonna take the $10,000 out of that coordinator fee and put it into scholarships. We want them to be able to get more scholarships than $500 or whatever.
$1,000.
We're gonna take that, and we'll do the staff who's handling it and can handle it. I went back and looked at some of the other cities, and most of them are run by city staff.
Okay.
Every one of them's done by city staff.
Not every single one,
Well,
but,
I'm not going to debate all that. I didn't
Right.
say every one of them, I said some of them. But I think I personally would like to be able to go to one meetings a month or 2 meetings a month and talk. I think the purpose of the youth group is to learn about government. We take our
Correct.
staff directors and let them go take an hour and work on one of these meetings and talk to them about what we are doing. You take all the directors and assistant directors and let them take and meet with these young people at our building here when they have their meetings.
but you do know that's what we do.
But we're not gonna have a coordinator. We're gonna put the money, the $10,000 into the scholarship fund.
Okay, so
We'll have the scholarship be able to give out more than what we've been doing and do it, so.
In my opinion, my stated goal, you're welcome to continue to volunteer and participate in the program, but I don't, as a principal, I don't believe volunteers should be paid. I don't believe it should be a contract.
Yeah, but I wasn't a volunteer. I was,
Well,
right.
I don't.
I
believe that-
negotiated the contract to
We
do
need a
that.
paid coordinator for the youth council.
Okay. And again, I'm not going to argue what's needed. I just want it to be done well. And I question whether staff has enough time to do that. But again, I'm going to let that fall wherever it falls. The other thing about this, if you're talking about putting money aside for the scholarships, as a resident of Ocoee, I want to make sure that all of that money goes to every single one of the seniors, or if it's going to be rolled over into the next year. I did put a plan together, and the way it's set up now, Mayor, when you say you want staff to come to the meeting, that's exactly what we did. This previous year, we asked each one of you to come to one of the meetings. So they're learning about government. All the things that we put in place from the beginning is being done. So I look at this as saying it's great. I've already put my time and effort into making the youth council what it is, and I look forward to it continuing to the best youth council it is. But what I will say as a resident is that I will look and make sure that the other things that you all do consulting and pay other consultings for, I'll make sure that I look to see those things that are put in place.
Well, we'd
Right.
love you to do that, because I'm telling you now, consultants get paid, and it's all open to the finance director, can look at anything we do. But I'm telling you, the only reason we're gonna do is take that $10,000 and put it towards those young people when they go to get scholarships. And we'll have a program set up that they go by to get the money for the scholarships. Like last year, I ended up with $1,200. I give $1,200 to the scholarship fund.
Right.
But we're gonna take and we're trying to take and put it back where it's done without a coordinator. We have no other coordinators on any of our other boards.
But no other board has young people involved either. Every other board are adult-driven boards.
But still.
Correct?
That's right, but we're not.
Okay.
We're not gonna get into the argument of it or anything
I'm not
like
trying to
that.
argue, Mayor. I'm just
Let-
trying to
let
say
me-
what the difference is.
Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I'm telling you, I'm gonna vote to put $10,000 into that youth group without a coordinator. We'll use our staff to do what has to be done when if we meet once a week or once a month or twice a month, the staff will set it up, and then we'll somebody can come, different people. I think if we let them come teach the class of what it's supposed to be. Let them come teach. If it's the finance director, she comes and shows them what we do through the government finance and what we do with taxes. If it's public works, then the public works director comes and talks that time.
That's exactly what, if you would ask the students that are here now, that's exactly
We
what
don't
was
have to
done.
pay them again, Dorcas. We don't pay more money. We're gonna take that money and give it to where it needs to be given to the youth,
Okay.
all right?
As
Okay.
long as it's a well-run program
Well, it will
and
be.
successful.
It will be.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, commissioners. Anybody else in the citizens want to talk? All right, if not, we're going to go to the commissioners. Let's do this. All right, speak up, fellas. You don't have any? Okay, good.
No comment at
No?
this time.
I have just one comment. No, I've had all my questions answered. I've spoke to Rob, and I went through the budget book. I don't have any questions there. I just need, the spring fling every year, I know there's a line item for that, but what I'd like to do is, with the commission's approval, we are, should I say, rebranding the spring fling to a conservation-themed event. It's time for a change.
Okay.
We've done something, it's
Conservation.
conservation. We're gonna work with the Unity Park, Stormwater, and again,
great,
kind of
yeah.
revamping the spring fling. So I'm asking the commission if there's anything listed in the budget, which I understand there is, that it does get renamed into a spring event conservation for us.
Spring
It's-
conservation event?
Spring conservation, that would be, as I say, it's just kind of sometimes we need a little change.
Yeah,
And
you
so we
want
thought
a consensus for everybody?
well, as long as everyone's okay with anything in the budget being.
Yeah, no.
I'll come before the commission to give us the date, which I can tell you
Yeah,
right
that's
now, is the
good.
second,
Yeah, that's great.
still the second Saturday in March. But it's our opportunity now to rechange it because of, in COVID, we got shut down, so now we're just
Yeah.
kind of making a little change.
That's good.
So I just asked for the budget, anything in the budget to be renamed Spring Conservation. That sounds wonderful. We'll have a better name than that later, but. I'm very pleased, I'll just say I'm very pleased with the increase in the, Steve doesn't have to get up, but with the sidewalks, because they seem to be a problem with my district because we're a more established district. So I'm pleased to see that the budget has increased for that. And I'm going to look for the future budgets to be increased too. I'm sure Steve is going to roll his eyes at that one because it's a lot of work. But I'm thrilled that our sidewalks will have some attention. So thank you. Otherwise, I have no other questions regarding the budget.
Okay. Commissioner Varsner?
No, I have no
Okay.
comment at this.
All right, I want to bring up one item that's cemetery. And I talked to Rob, city manager, about it. If we'd put in a part-time person at cemetery that'll be there part-time, at least 3 days a week, to maintain and keep that where we don't get the letters and things we getting. So that's if it doesn't affect the budget process we got now. I think I was talking to you today about it, so can we work that out?
Yeah, we could do that. When the mayor and I had discussed this today, I advised him that that would be possible without changing the millage rate or anything like that.
I figure we'll start out part-time, and then in the future, we can, if we need to, we can go to more of it. It's become a problem with time frame of people coming up there to work on it, then people getting upset about their cemetery plots. It's a city plot, but we don't get paid but one time. If you bought the lot for 100 goes for 100 years. So money has to come from somewhere. So, but I think if we put a part-time person there to start with to go through this process, and I think we can get it under control and make it where it's supposed to be. So
Mark's done a great job with
Yeah.
the cemetery. It
well, a lot
looks so
better.
much better. And so I'm just looking for, it is looking so much better. So thank you for that.
you have a problem with that, Commissioner?
No.
Rob, what?
Sorry, Mayor?
Okay. Yeah, and I have one more.
Was that a consensus to add that?
Consensus is yes.
Okay.
I have one more. Under the what do you call that fund? That one you like?
The contingency fund?
No, not that one.
Oh, that's one of my favorite
No, I know
ones.
the other one you like.
Oh, my
Forgetting it.
discretionary
I
fund?
want to move that to 15,000 because in the process, that's not a lot of money when you start giving it out to all the organizations.
I love the discretionary
I
fund.
know, and I might try to buy some of them signs you're buying too. But,
They're,
but I would like to see if the commission has a problem with that, Commissioner. Nope.
No, I don't.
All right. Commissioner, would like to move that to 15,000.
is that going to affect millage rate to
Does-
any extent? No? Okay.
I'll say no on record, no.
No,
No.
oh,
All
I
right.
like that word.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have anything? All right. All right. Let's see. Where am I on this list here? Announcement by Finance Director. So you give me a couple minutes?
No, sir.
You already got it done?
There's no need to adjust the millage rate to accommodate any of the changes requested, so the millage rate stays, the proposed millage rate stays at 4.95%, which is 4.950 mils, which is 8.36%, greater than the rollback rate of 4.568.
Okay. All right. All right. Now we go back.
Repeat the millage rate, I'm sorry, I'm writing it down.
4.950.
0.
50.
All right, we're back to the citizens again. Anybody in the public? Anybody in the public won't make comments? Anybody? Now's the time. All right, commissioners, once again, I need, anybody have any comments? All right, nobody? Okay. All right, motion to adopt a tentative millage rate. City attorney will read the title of the ordinance for the proposed millage rate.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, establishing a tentative millage rate of 4.950 mils for ad valorem taxes for the City of Ocoee for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2024, providing for millage adjustment, providing for collection of taxes, providing for an 8.36% in millage rate over the rollback rate, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right, this time I'll entertain a motion to adopt the tentative millage rate.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson to adopt the tentative millage rate and seconded by Commissioner Kennedy. Any more comments? If not, let's vote.
Hope I voted yes.
Yeah, let me reset that, I'm sorry.
What
We
was the
need to do it again?
Yeah, because it has.
Rob came up.
All right. Rob, vote.
I needed to actually, I needed to put Hart as absent.
Yeah, okay.
Did Rob vote?
No, we're good.
We was absent.
He abstained.
He abstained.
Well, I think we
Are we
did.
ready?
It's not yet.
Not yet?
There you go.
All right, motion carries 4 yeses with Commissioner Hart absent. So we needed 4 votes. All right. All right. I need we need another vote here. We voted on that. Let's move over here to motion.
Tentative budget.
Huh? All right, now we're gonna make a motion to adopt the tentative budget. If there are any amendments to the proposed tentative budget, I will entertain a motion with respects to such amendments. This motion is only for amendments to the tentative budget.
So you need another motion?
Only if you have an amendment.
You-
All right, I'm reading. Are you here?
I'm gonna have, yeah, I'm at E. Where you at?
If there's no amendments, Mayor, you can go to the next line where you would call upon the attorney to read the
I
ordinance.
am.
Okay.
All right, all right, the city attorney's gonna read the title of ordinance for the tentative budget.
An ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Orange County, Florida, adopting a tentative budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2023, and ending September 30th, 2024, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right, now we're gonna entertain a motion to adopt the tentative budget.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by, to adopt the tentative budget by Commissioner Ferschner. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Kennedy. No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries 4 votes yes, Commissioner Hart absent. All right, we're here to announcements now. Melanie? Huh? We done at the mayor's announcements?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Before we conclude, I would like to announce the public hearing to consider the final millage rate and final budget is scheduled for Wednesday, September the 20th, 2023 at 6 p.m. to be held here in our City Hall Commission Chambers. The hearing has been advertised in accordance with the provisions of Section 200.065 Florida statutes and Section C-37 of Article 6 of the Ocoee City Charter. The appropriate ordinances necessary to adopt the final millage rate and final budget will be prepared by city staff, and all other action necessary to comply with the requirements of Section 200.065 Florida statutes will be undertaken. All right. That's adjournment. That's it. We'll be back on September the 20th. Thank you. 6 o'clock.